What a way to bring the waves in and the spirit in. It's so moving, so elegant even. And that's the word that came to me when I was thinking about this event, this wonderful event of the landmarking of this space and all the ancestors who have blessed it by their presence. And I was thinking how, for myself, it's been such a privilege to meet Howard Thurman in his writings, in his recorded sermons, in some television interviews, and through people who really knew him, such as Dorsey Blake and Alfred Smith, and many others over the years in the area here. And it was my privilege to meet Sue Bailey Thurman on several occasions at this church. The last one being when we unveiled the portrait they did of her, which is hanging now in Dorsey's office. And it was a beautiful occasion. And I believe it was her last public appearance, if I'm not mistaken, before she died on Christmas in a year. Such an elegant woman. So this is what I've learned from both of these people, Sue Bailey and Howard Thurman: elegance. The power and beauty of elegance in language and choice of words, in one's bearing and carrying of their bodies, elegance in their stories. Going in the mid-1930s to India to visit with many Indian spiritual leaders, including, of course, Mahatma Gandhi, and bringing back Gandhi's wisdom of nonviolence to America, and especially to Black America. The elegance in the message and very name of this church, the Church of the Fellowship of All Peoples. Is there anything more elegant than that? Today is a great day, an elegant day. A day that the city of San Francisco, to its credit, has had the intuition and imagination to declare this very place an historic landmark. What does that mean? What is behind this occasion? This term, historic landmark. History is stories. History is the stories we remember. And the city of San Francisco is saying, look here. Look at the story of this place. And remember it. Remember the greatness of the vision that was named and birthed here. And the greatness of the peoples whose own stories and lives have become imbued with the grace of being here over the last 79 years. Remember our ancestors, their vision and their courage, their hunger and imagining and working for a new and better future. And what is that vision and future that this womb, this manger, this birthplace holds and holds out? It's in the name, a fellowship of all peoples. As Howard Thurman wrote, adapting and updating St. Paul, it is my belief that in the presence of God, there is neither male nor female, white nor black, Gentile nor Jew, Protestant nor Catholic, Hindu, Buddhist, nor Muslim, but a human spirit, stripped to the literal substance of the self before God. That is Howard's vision. That we strip ourselves beyond religious denominationalism to the literal substance of ourselves before God. This is a vision for the 21st century. Webster's dictionary defines landmark this way: an event or development that marks a turning point or a stage, a structure as a building of unusual historical interest, especially one that is officially designated and set aside for preservation. Landmark. Mark this land. Mark this place. Officially. Why? Why officially designate a place and set it aside for preservation? So we remember it. So remember what happened and is happening and can happen beyond here. To do this letting go of stripping ourselves before God, to undergo what is called kenosis or emptying, includes forgiveness. It includes looking at our mistakes and misdeeds, personal and communal, over the centuries. Slavery, genocide, hatred, lynchings, injustice of an economic kind, racial kind, gender kind, or homophobic kind, hatred of Mother Earth, creation itself, ecocide and matricide, looming so large in our growing awareness today. And very often, over the centuries, very often in the name of religion. The situation today around ecocide and matricide, Howard Thurman warned us about when he wrote, quote, that the collective psyche shrieks with the agony that it feels as a part of the death cry of a pillaged nature. The collective psyche shrieks with the agony that it feels as a part of the death cry of a pillaged nature, which today we call climate change. Yes, we share a collective psyche, and we share a pillaged nature, and the death cry it is sending forth. No matter how we identify ourselves, whether African or African American, European or Caucasian, Asian or Latino, Latinx or Indigenous, whether Catholic or Buddhist or Muslim or Jewish or atheist or humanist or nuns, that's N-O-N-E-S, not N-U-N-S. We do share a collective psyche, and we are all Homo sapiens. Are we stretching to be our better selves, our bigger selves, our more generous and courageous and creative and joy-filled selves? In other words, can Homo sapiens survive? The Church of the Fellowship of All Peoples. When we look at the suffering of our species and the potential of our species and the wisdom of our spiritual ancestors, we will always look to this place because it names an aspiration, a hope, a possibility that all peoples might find community together, fellowship together. And today the stakes are so high. Our species has come a long way, but we seem to be losing our way as well. True elegance seems displaced by loudness and bragging and bigotry and bombastic appeals to the reptilian brain, to more hatred and wars and projection and I win, you lose mentalities. In the Middle East today, decades of violence toward Palestinians are coming home to roost. What Bishop Hildegard called the spiral of violence is in full swing. The first violence, he says, is poverty and oppression. The second is rebellion against it, often led by young people. And in Gaza today, 80% of young adults are unemployed. And the average salary in Israel today is $55,000 a year, and in Gaza is $1,200 a year. A year. There is no excuse for the barbarism of Hamas attacks last week, but neither is there any moral justification for restoring the lives of 2.3 million Palestinians as a response. So the dream and vision of this historic place calls us still. It invites us to our potential. I am very moved these days by what science is learning about how our species is in league with at least 15 other hominid species we have named. They are our cousins: Neanderthal, Dinosaur, but 13 more that we have identified, and surely there are more to come. But the hard fact is this: they are all extinct. All our cousins, all other hominids are extinct. All our hominid brothers and sisters are gone. We who call ourselves Homo sapiens are the last ones standing. What do we say to that? That a church, a gathering of the fellowship of all peoples is possible. It has been incarnated in the city of San Francisco for 79 years. It was a vision 79 years ago, and it is still a vision today. And by this honor being bestowed upon it, it becomes more than ever a vision for our future. The fellowship of all peoples is possible wherever we are, however we worship, whomever we love, whatever our culture or language or music or dress or cuisine. Vive la différence, celebrate the diversity. Has there ever been a more pressing time for a vision of the fellowship of all peoples? When white supremacy movements are parading around in high places in our country, and there's something called Christian, when hatred and grievance and vitriol, rather than love and caring and justice-making, are in the air and on the air and in the media and in the social media, where institutional violence, otherwise known as fascism, is appealing to so many around the world and in our own country. When wars are raging in Ukraine and the Middle East, the question is simply this: can humanity move beyond war? In a recent survey done at the University of Chicago about religion in America today, only 10% of respondents, 10%, said they still possessed, quote, a great deal of confidence in organized religion. Sexual abuse scandals, social and political stances were cited as the main reason that people are leaving organized religion. But humanity is all peoples. Black people and white and Asian and indigenous and Latino and gay and straight and trans people. Male and female people. Not only Howard Thurman is remembered today, but Sue Bailey Thurman, who did so much to hold up black women tell their stories, ancestors who accomplished so much and received so little gratitude for. So all people, Church of all peoples, includes women as well as men, and of course people of all religious faiths and nuns. The nuns are a rapidly growing group in our world today and in this country, especially among young people who, having learned, beginning to learn more of the complicity of religious leaders with injustices of old, whether slavery or fascism or genocide, are turning their back on organized religion, but not on spirituality. How important is it to remember our ancestors? How important is this remembering thing that we're honoring and celebrating today? Rabbi Heschel says that all of Jewish religion and liturgy can be summarized in one word: remembering. Remembering the Exodus. And of course, this archetype, this event, was picked up by the Black church in a big way, became a motto of civil rights movement, that liberation is possible. Pharaoh, let my people go. Remembering Passover, events of liberation, still alive today. Jesus saying, do this in memory of me. Not just the Last Supper, but the Beatitudes too. Loving your enemy, thirsting after justice. We remember things by living them. And Meister Eckhart, of whom Howard Thurman was very fond and cited often, Meister Eckhart summarizes Jesus' work in one sentence: Jesus is the great reminder, he said. Jesus is the great reminder. So is Howard Thurman. So are all the great spiritual visionaries in human history. To remind is to heal. It is to redeem. It is to make whole and make possible. Science today is urging us to remember also. Remember how we got here, and where here is, and what here is. The Webb telescope is a reminding instrument, bringing to us the beauty and wonder and awe and amazement of our 13.5 billion year journey that brought all of us here. And by all of us, I don't mean just you and me and two-legged ones. I mean the elephants and the lions and the tigers and the whales and the rainforests and the oceans. It's been a journey, folks. Yes. And we want to remember it, not take it for granted. It is so special, this place we call Earth. And here we are making more stupid wars, as if that's going to solve anything. We remember the work of Howard Thurman and Sue Thurman and the entire civil rights movement, with all its martyrs and heroes and sheroes and those teenagers who filled the jails. But remembering is not just about remembering the past. It is about remembering the future. Remembering the future. Our children's and grandchildren. And 7 generations from today, that future, that remembering. Keeping them in mind about what kind of earth, what kind of waters and soil and air and peace and justice are we putting forward for the future generations. Will the sea be rising 3 feet? Well, we think we have an immigration issue today. Wait till that comes by. Will forests be denuded and oceans fished out and turned acidic? Species extinct, elephants, these amazing beings, tigers and giraffes and so much more. Will droughts and wildfires and famine and immigration to escape the rising seas? Will that be the future? History is not for the sake of the past. It's about learning from the past, from the stories of our ancestors, how to respond to the present in order that there be a future. And this is why we make landmarks. A church, a gathering of the fellowship of all peoples, is not something done or finished. It is something we aspire to. We want to see happen now and in the future. All these gifts we've inherited over 13.8 billion years, these are blessings, original blessings, that we cannot take for granted. And so today, it is a remembrance of the first page of the scriptures, the Christian and Jewish and Muslim scriptures, which talks in Genesis 1 about the goodness and the very goodness of creation. And the very goodness comes at the end when humans show up. Believe it or not, the story is not that we made things worse, but everything was called good, good, good. The sun was good, the moon was good, the animals were good. And then humans show up, and it's very good. The whole picture, the circle, the community, the kinship, the fellowship of it all is called very good. That's what we're remembering at this time, because that's where the future lies. So this landmark here is such a story to remember and to celebrate today, and especially honor Dorsey Blake for his 29 years. Big footsteps to fill. But he's done it. And all you who've been part of this process, in this celebration today. This is a day of hope. A day of hope. And my two favorite definitions of hope are this. First of all, from David Orr, who's an eco-philosopher today. He says, hope is a verb with the sleeves rolled up. Hope is a verb with the sleeves rolled up. I really like that. Hope is proportionate to our ability to work it, to work our inner selves and our contributions we can make to communities to which we all belong. The inner work and the outer work. And the second definition of hope that stays with me is from Dr. King, of course, a student, a disciple of Howard Thurman, who says that hope is the refusal to quit, the refusal to give up. So it's in this context that we all celebrate today, this very special day. This vision, this gift, this incarnation. We thank Howard Thurman, Sue Bailey Thurman, Dorsey Blake, Catherine Brenton for her service here all these years. Here and what is still to come when the gathering of the fellowship of all peoples really lights the fire in our species for a living future. Thomas Aquinas says, compassion is the fire that Jesus came to set on the earth. May telling us you can do away with all religion, but we can't do away with compassion. Whether it's Jesus saying in Luke 6, be you compassionate as your Creator in heaven is compassionate, or whoever is saying it, hey, this is the best of our species. And every spiritual teacher from every tradition teaches it. So hey, what's holding us back? Fire.